Someone who fought for more cancer research funding alongside Olivia is the founder of the Love Your Sister charity, Samuel Johnson, and he joins us now from Tallarook in Victoria. Sam, really nice to see you this morning. We know that Olivia was an incredibly special person to you. Can I ask your reaction to hearing of her passing?
Oh, thanks, Ali. I mean, obviously I was devoed. There's stuff that people don't know about Olivia. I mean, we know about her wellness centre. I mean, she's got a wellness centre right next to the hospital bed, right next to the lab. It's a really unique model that'll really live on. And our organisation, Love Your Sister, has proudly given ONJ $2.5 million over its life because Belinda and Delphine there do such fabulous work when it comes to our cancer patients receiving personalised treatment or precision medicine right now. But what people don't know about Olivia is that she really helped everyone. She helped us with back-end stuff. So there's over 60,000 registered charities in this country. Obviously, if we share our resources, we can bring our expenditure down. Now, one of our biggest problems with mistrust these days with charities is that we don't like our charities spending so much on operationals. So, Olivia, we got PR, we got HR support from her, legal support, auditing support, administrative support. She also, her and her family got us onto a company that paid for our CEO for 3 years.
Wow.
You know, there was masses of support that came from her because she shared a vision with me about sharing our resources. Now, I was never able to repay her with those resources, but I was able to support many of the wonderful programs that they run through the ONJ CRI. And it's really important to me that people know that she wasn't just the face of an organisation. She wasn't. She went right into the rabbit hole, and she wanted to make it. She wanted to work with us to find solutions to make this easier and to make it less expensive. You know, I desperately wanted people to know that she didn't just shake the tin, and she wasn't just a front lady. She I mean, I owe her big time. She really helped Love Your Sister. I can't thank her enough. I was able to thank her, but yeah.
Sam, can I just say that was so beautifully said. And that is exactly what she did. And what she did it from the heart, and she meant it. She helped you get your charity on its feet. And I know that the Today Show has followed that journey with you and your beautiful sister, Connie, who you lost in 2017.
Yeah.
When it comes to cancer and fighting cancer, there was no one braver than, your sister and Olivia, was there?
Exactly. My sister fought cancer for about 30 years. She had a tumour in her leg when she was 11, one in her womb when she was 22, and one and breast and everywhere else when she was 33. Now, Olivia fought cancer on and off for about 30 years as well. Look, I don't want to chuck around the H word, but they're heroes because they chose, and I'll tell you why. Because they chose to fight their fight publicly, and they chose to turn their pain into something positive. And to be frank, we need that. You know, we lose a lot of people to cancer, a lot of our loved ones. We need good news stories. We need to be inspired by the people around us who are doing what they can. Can we be doing more? Yes, we can be doing more. Olivia was always about that, and so it's, you know, it reminds me of when Steve Irwin died. It's just a hole in me that'll never be filled. You know, we've lost a great Australian, and it was very important that I come on here today and let people who didn't meet her know that she wasn't just a fundraiser, and she wasn't just Sandy. She was a really good Australian.
And you've done that so beautifully this morning. We've lost two extraordinary people in both your sister and Olivia, and we appreciate the sentiments that you've shared this morning, Sam. You've been along every step of that journey with them. Thank you. Karl.
Good to see you, Sam. Olivia's decades-long friends, actor Jane Seymour. Jane, thank you so much for being with us. It is lovely to see you. I wish that it was under better circumstances. How are you feeling?
Well, like Toddy said, I just been crying a lot. I had the privilege of knowing Olivia and having a really close relationship with her for about 40 years. We had children together. In fact, Toddy's mom, Rona, was my friend, and that's how I came to America. I was with her mom and Emerson, their son, and I remember when I first had a baby, and Olivia looked at me and said, "How do you do this acting thing and have a baby? How do you do this?" So anyway, we went through everything in life. We've had ups and downs, and there were so many things that we could talk about that we couldn't necessarily talk about with other people, things that we could share. And I miss her enormously, and I'm just so glad that I had a chance to see her in the not that long ago. Well, quite a long, but February, I think, was the last time I saw her.
How was that for you?
Well, it was the second time that I'd been there where I really felt that was goodbye. I really felt that she was not going to be there anymore. And I remember that she got out of bed. Somebody got her out, and so she could see me and my sisters. And she was just so loving and just so full of light, and just in horrible pain, taking all kinds of medications. And she just said, "Jane, look around. Isn't it beautiful here?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Look at the hummingbirds, and look at the dogs, and the wind and the sun." And she was talking to my sisters about their lives and our children and our mutual friends who were going through cancer, and what could she do to help them? I mean, and she was so frail, and all she wanted to do was help other people. That's what I mean.
Oh.
And I imagine for you, Jane, that would have been incredibly tough. Like, we've watched Olivia in this battle that she's had with cancer, although she never called it a battle, over 30 years. And I think there's something within all of us who just felt that she was always going to win. So to see her in Feb and to see her knowing that that wasn't how this was going to end must have been incredibly tough.
Yes, I mean, I remember her calling me when she was on stage in Vegas and saying, "It's really bad back, and you've had back issues. Tell me, what can I do? What would be the thing to do?" And then when she eventually told me that was actually a cancer, and a lot of people around me said she won't live very long, and she defied all odds. I mean, every time she defied all odds. When everyone thought it was done, I said, "Well, you don't know Olivia. Olivia will make it happen. She will grab more life," and she did. And I went to this magnificent hospital in Melbourne, and I've never forgotten. I FaceTimed her and I said, "Oh my gosh, what you did. You told me how great it was. It's incredible." And then I remember sometime later, she called me wherever I was in the world and said, "You never guess where I am." And I said, "Where?" She said, "I'm in the hospital, in my hospital." And I went, "Oh, that's great." And she said, "No, I'm here as a patient." Oh. But she said, "It is great because I really helped make something wonderful happen here. And now I can see for myself. I'm a recipient now of the care that they're giving." So I miss Olivia so much. I can't begin to tell you. I just keep thinking of all the different funny things that happened to us in our lives and our children growing up together. Chloe, her first music video was directed by my son, Sean, who were contemporaries. And Olivia and I were sort of behind the scenes. She was trying to make Chloe feel happy with her hair and makeup, and I was behind the scenes trying to help my son, get his camera equipment together. And we looked at one another going, "Oh my God, these are the little babies we talked about having."
Hey, Jane, thank you for sharing. I just, and looking at those positive moments and the happiness that you two shared. What was it, 40 years? And such really great moments. You had some terrible times that you had to share, obviously, as well, personally. But the uplifting thing here are these great moments that you had together. Are there any other little stories? I know that she travelled a long way sometimes to surprise you. Any other little stories that you can share?
She did. You see, of course, I'm always on film and television, very rarely in live. And she actually came and found me and saw me doing the Vortex in Singapore, of all places. And oh my God, she was so goofy and funny afterwards. I've got photographs and that. We were laughing a lot, and I couldn't believe she came, to watch me do that. And I do remember one time I was trying to get my green card, and I'd got all my stuff together, and I was having my interview, and this woman said to me, well, clearly you deserve to have a green card. I said, but we don't see, we don't know who all these so-called stars are, and I'm supposed to decide who's who, and I don't know because I don't watch television. I said, well, let me help you out while I'm here. And so they said, well, I'm processing, and looks the next one, this woman, Olivia Newton-John. I said, America needs her. Get her in now. And I called Olivia up. I said, I think I just got your green card. She said, I didn't take the lawyers for so long, and you go in there and get me a green card.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
It's lovely, Jane.
Beautiful to hear you and talk to you this morning, Jane, and just hear some of those wonderful memories. She's
Yeah.
a special person.
Thank you so much for being with us. You share a similar beauty and a similar energy. We appreciate you being on. Thank you for being with us today. Talk
Thanks,
to you soon.
Jane.
Lovely woman.